Right next to me are the fighters of Azov Brigade, famous Azov Brigade, and two of them have very different but very interesting life stories.
My call sign is a Klishch. I've been in the army since 2015 and I served with Azov. I went through Mariupol, Azovstal and Captivity. After everything, I returned through Turkey. I used to be a group commander in a special reconnaissance unit. Now I am the deputy commander of an unmanned systems battalion. We're fighting in the Konstantinivka area, holding the line and repelling enemy attacks.
Hello guys, my call sign is Heroyam and I'm in army since 2023 and I had a nice fellowship and relations with Lift 99 since 2022 when I was a chaplain. As a volunteer, I was visiting frontline and serving to our soldiers. And Kleshch is my commander, and I want to add to what he mentioned that unit, Special Forces unit inside of Azov, one of the most elite units. They are legends, that guys, and we served together there for 7 months, and now we are serving in our UAV battalion, whereas Kleshch is one of the assistants of the commander of battalion, and I am an operative. Also in 2014 I was imprisoned as well, like Kleshch, but I was a civil and I was evacuating people from Luhansk, occupied by Russians, and they tortured me and my wife set me free.
Kleshch, I want to ask you about Mariupol. We don't always have people here in the convoy who've been through this kind of experience, if we can say so, of that legendary fight in Mariupol, in Azovstal. Can you tell us a bit more about those events in 2022? I know the whole world was observing what was happening there, but from the first person, how was it for you? What was happening there in Azovstal?
I can't go into all the details. A lot happened back in Mariupol. But I can tell you this. It was one of the biggest battles in Europe since the Second World War. I've never seen anything like what was happening there on the front line. The amount of artillery and the sheer number of enemy troops were unbelievable. Back then, there weren't as many drones as now. They existed, but very few. It was mostly pure infantry warfare, with tanks and armored vehicles. We carried out raids, ambushes and reconnaissance missions behind enemy lines. But since the enemy outnumbered us heavily, we kept losing ground and eventually ended up at Azovstal. In Mariupol, our recon team destroyed a Russian Special Forces unit. The GRU from Kabardino-Balkaria. That's a known fact. The company that came into our rear, about 120 men, we wiped out almost completely. Only about 15 to 20 of them made it out. We also destroyed a large number of armored vehicles they came in on.
Kleshch, I know you were injured during Azovstal. How did this happen and what injury did you get, if you want to tell about it?
There was a one-night mission. We had to pick up the crew of an APC from one location and bring them back to us, since we had our own vehicle. On the way there, we also had to find an internet connection to update our maps. As we were moving, we came under sniper fire. Thankfully, no one was hit. Then came a mortar strike. And just as we were getting close to the bunker with the internet, a drone dropped an explosive. It wasn't common back then, but they did drop one, and I got slightly wounded. My leg, my arm, nothing too serious, but I was limping for a couple of weeks.
So you were injured when you got into Russian captivity, and you've been in in captivity for a year. Were you treated somehow with your injury during your captivity?
No, I didn't get any medical help. Once in Olenivka, some neurologists came, looked over everyone with lighter and heavier injuries. They just said, "You'll be fine," and left. That was all.
So you spent a year in captivity, and from what we see, when soldiers, when our military come back, they are all very skinny. They're all been experiencing malnutrition, and lots of them were tortured. How was it for you? Were you also not eating enough? Were you also tortured by Russians? If you can talk about this right now.
I had serious problems with hunger. Each meal was maybe 100 to 150 grams of food. Normally I weighed about 75 kilos. When I came out of captivity, I was 62, completely skin and bones. No muscle left at all. As for torture, I was a bit lucky. Yes, I was bitten, but compared to what some of our guys went through, I was fine. There are many who were tortured badly in captivity. They'd be taken for interrogations and forced to confess to things they never did. We've all seen those videos from Russia of our prisoners being accused of all sorts of things. They're trying to pin their crimes on our soldiers, our artillerymen, even though Mariupol was constantly being shelled by the Russians. I saw it with my own eyes. Say, at noon I'd drive down a street, nothing there. Half an hour later, I'd come back, and there'd already be civilians lying dead, killed by their artillery.
Gideon, I have a question for you now. So you mentioned that you were also in Russian captivity in 2014 or 15?
14.
14, because you were evacuating civilians from the occupied Luhansk Oblast. How was your experience in captivity at that time?
I spent in captivity 25 days. It's a very famous story now because I was imprisoned not just because my partnership with military forces of Ukraine, but also I am a Protestant believer and minister of church, Protestant church, Pentecostal church in Ukraine. And they say that this is why I am an agent from the West. They tortured me by electricity and by bats, and they tried to cast out demons out of me. There was a Russian priest in that place, and he prayed against me, and he said this because my eyes is too black, and I'm a Protestant. They have to cast out demons from me. Yeah, and it's a very famous story now. We made a movie, and it's now translating and broadcasting on the Christian networks in the United States right now. It's Faith Under Siege, if I am not mistaken. Yes, this story was crazy, and my wife set me free after 25 days.
Can you tell us about the story of how your wife set you free? It sounds like a very romantic story.
So I was a missed person for 10 days, and my wife left my son with her mother and came back to occupied Luhansk and started searching for my body, because she thought that I am already a dead person, and she was searching my body, and just for once a time she asked a question, one guy, where she can find me. It was in morgue in Lugansk. They said that I am not there, and they shown her a way. And she went to that place, and that guys, Russian guys who was holding me, they bring me out from my cell and shown her. And she started coming there almost every day. And after some time, they commanded to set me free.
Because of her efforts, because of her
Yes,
being
just
there.
because of her efforts, because no government, no my friends, no one was searching me, just my wife.
It's a story of bravery,
Yeah,
of
indeed.
big love, and like being there for you, not just like, you know, not just by words, but by actual actions. I can't imagine actually, guys, what it feels to go in the occupied area, knowing that your husband is being held in captivity. You know that he's being tortured, or like, you know, you go looking for a body at first, and then you go right into hands of Russians, not knowing what they're gonna do to you. This is, I don't know if this woman is here, but this woman is here. Thank you so much for doing this. Yeah, that's really impressive. I'm stunned. I'm sorry. I forgot what the next question was. Yeah. One more question about your experience now. So you weren't serving after you were released from captivity. You joined in 2023. Yeah. What was the turning point for you that you decided to go?
I was a military chaplain, like I said. I was volunteering and assisting to personnel like Further South Brigade, Azov Brigade, and some other brigades. I was serving in trenches to them, and I was thinking and preparing to the army like since 2022. I was studying how to fly by FPV drones and studying shooting. And one day, and it was like a big missile strike here in Kiev, and I was so tired of Russian crimes. They crimes against civilians, they crimes against just normal people here in Ukraine, and I just decided to join my army for full time. I was a software engineer, I was working in Lift 99, I had a nice friendship with Ragnar and other guys, but it wasn't enough for me. I wanted to like pay back to Russians for everything what they did for my country, and I believe that I was very successful in that.
Do you want to stay in the army after the full-scale invasion?
I left army like the same day when they were me. I want to proceed with software engineering and other stuff.
Thank you so much, guys. Unfortunately, I would love to talk to you for like an hour and more. I just hope this car is gonna help you save lives. It's gonna help you protect our country, and you're already doing an amazing job. I wish you luck. It's very important on the front line from what we learned today. And I also want to give you these patches. This is from Jake Bro campaign, who were raising money for this car, like a small present for you. Thank you so much for your work. I want to just shake your hand.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Hello. Hola. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Salut. Hello. Sveiki.
Hello.